The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
What's going on, everybody? It's Fat Track. You're checking out the Mike and Tony Show. Respect, man.
I already like the guest, Pierce. It's episode 211. It's a Saturday morning. We're back at it again. I'm in a really good place, buddy.
Yeah?
It's the beginning of Thanksgiving break. I'm a math teacher, by the way.
I heard you're a middle school teacher.
Middle school teacher.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. I like torture. So for the kids, I mean. No, I'm just kidding. So I've got a week off. I need some rest and relaxation. I had 3 nights this week. I was in the building until 8:30 p.m. I was getting up between 4 and 5 because I started working out again.
Yeah.
So it's I'm in a good place. I'm gonna play some Switch. I'm gonna take some naps on the couch, which I started last night. My wife came down and woke me up at like 11:30 and was like, "Are you gonna come up to bed?" And I was like, "Oh crap!"
You're like, no, I'm taking a
No,
nap.
Totally.
it's a night nap.
This is where I live for the next week. So, how was your week, Pierce? How you doing?
It's good. I don't have a nice week off to look forward to like you, but I mean, I'll have 2 days off next week, but that's not really.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
surely.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
But then on Friday, like, after the day after Thanksgiving, right? You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna chill out, hang out, and be cool. No. Freaking Fran's stepson has a wedding the day after Thanksgiving.
That's terrible.
The day after Thanksgiving, dude.
Bro. So that's your Friday.
That's my Friday, bro.
No.
Oh, I would have been like, I'm not gonna make it.
Just call in sick. Yeah, call in sick. Get a note from your mom.
I'm gonna have some stomach issues. It's a lot of eating.
So I was like, dang, dude. I was like, I don't even get to relax, do nothing. I was like, we got to go to Alex's wedding, but
that's one thing I do like is we don't travel for the holidays. Like everybody at work's like, oh man, I'm driving to here. I have one coworker's driving to Georgia.
No, thank you.
It's 24
I was gonna
hour
say, yeah,
drive. It's unbelievable. I'm like, that is no way to spend your vacation.
it's 2 days.
That's not a holiday.
It's not a
That's
holiday.
not a holiday.
No.
That's work.
That beautiful voice you were hearing here. Would you like to introduce our guest today,
Yes,
Mike Pierce?
we got a female
Ooh.
MMA athlete.
Okay, the female brother.
First.
They probably figured out
first.
I'm like confirmed female,
confirmed
not a
female.
2024 female, a real one.
We don't have to test you.
No genital check.
No X,
No cup
Ys,
check here.
Yes, but this is Lavida on our show here. And
Lavida Givon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. It's a small world. Turns out you know JD Hardwick, who...
I do. I know a lot of fighters in passing. I was telling Mike earlier, I've been in the Colorado fight scene since I was like 14.
Really?
I know a lot of the boxing commissioners since I was like 4. A lot of the judges have known me since I was like 5 years old.
Would you say it's a small world, or you've just been in it for a long time?
It's a small world. I've been in it, the thick of it for a long time, and it's a small world.
Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
both.
We love JD. He's been on a couple times. It's been a number of years since he's been on.
Yeah.
But his mom lives next door.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, it does. That makes it feel like a small world for sure.
Yeah,
But she was saying with hers, how she started in, she said she's been in since 14. I said she Mila Kunis'd the MMA world, and tell them what I mean by that.
I did. I lied about my age for 3 years so that I could fight in Colorado.
Wow.
Because back in the day, you couldn't fight if you were under the age of 18.
Wow.
So I just lied, and I was like, "Yep, I'm 18." And my mom would be like, "God, they get your age wrong every time." And I'm like, "Mom, they don't even spell my name right, so why would they get my age right?" And she's like, "Oh, okay."
And just went with it.
Yeah, she went with it.
You know who else did that? Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
did.
lied about his age too,
Yep.
so he could fight, and was just destroying people twice his size.
It's too much fun.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to be excluded because I'm small? Like, not fair.
Yeah.
No, I had martial arts training before that though, because I had been in karate since I was like 4 years old. So I was like competing like monthly up until I was like 16 and a half. I have a 3rd-degree black belt in karate, so that's kind of how I started, and then I transitioned over like K1, kickboxing, and then Muay Thai, then got into MMA.
Awesome. What do you like? What did you like best along the way to MMA?
Oh God, I don't know. So I didn't even work on jujitsu any ground until after I started MMA.
Oh.
I was one of those special people. Like, oh yeah, we have this full spectrum of things, and I have 2 skills. Like, I know how to kick you in the face, and I know how to punch. but let's wrestle also.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really good on the ground just because I'm stout. You're not going to choke me out. You are not going to do anything. My gravity is so low to the floor. Like, I feel very comfortable on the ground, but then I love hitting people. So it's like one of those things, like, and I love to get hit too. Like, that's a thing. Like, that, everybody's like, oh, no. And I'm like, no, I love a good punch in the face.
People think that's weird, but I don't. I think we're wired for running from predators and fighting for our life and like doing all this stuff. And when we don't do that, we find all these problems. We stress about little things.
It's idle. You become idle almost. Also, there's some sort of like fire in you that when you get hit by another human being and it doesn't hurt like you think it would, or it doesn't it doesn't hurt at all, and you're like, it brings a little bit of joy. You're like,
wow.
You do the inner evil laugh.
yeah. If you look at, like, not a lot of my fights are posted because I haven't fought in so many years, but if you look back in my fights, they're like, she punched you square in the face and then you're smiling. And I'm like, yeah, because it didn't hurt. But then you train with these tough men as a girl, because back in the day, there was not a lot of females in the scene at all.
So you're sparring with dudes all the time.
Constantly.
Wow.
Constantly sparring with men. And so it's like you could take a punch from like a 205-pound heavyweight who's already fighting like in the UFC than a girl hitting you after. You're like, okay, whatever. This is fine.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you spar with a higher level of, destruction and pain, and then you fight another woman. You're like, this is no problem. But we can't acknowledge the difference between men and women. So I'm sure it's exactly the same.
We're gonna acknowledge the difference. I always acknowledge the difference.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, there's a difference, right?
There's a huge difference.
That's the problem. We want to pretend like there's not a difference between men and women.
It's like, quit the bullshit.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference from a man clocking in the face and a woman doing it.
Yeah, and where you see it most is where these guys that were men their whole life, like Fallon Fox and all that. Just going there and just knocking people silly.
Breaking people's orbitals off from like a jab.
Bro.
That's not normal.
That's not
Girls
normal.
aren't doing that.
Didn't Fallon got her ass handed to her at one point though, right?
Yeah.
By a woman.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, I feel like there are like freak women. Like I have beat up my fair share of men.
And that's what people use for the argument though, right? Is that they go, well, see, look at that. You can see that. But we're talking about extremes.
But then you take that one account, and then after that one account, she never lost again, or he never lost again.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like a regular thing that's happening. Yeah, because they just posted that too, that I think it was the Marines. They were, a chick was mad at somebody else in the Marines, and they're fighting each other. It's a dude versus a girl. And they're in the ring. I just seen this the other day, and she calf kicks the shit out of him. And after that initial calf kick, I was like, oh, this guy's going down. And they're the same weight and everything. And she ends up pummeling him and choking him out. And I'm like, okay, well, there's like rare instances.
Sure. Yeah. And I think that's where people get carried away, though, because it's really like you have to look at it in general. There's a reason we've always had separate things for women and men. Our bodies are built different,
right?
Structurally different, chemically different, hormonally different, right?
Well, it's like the face structure of a man is built to take like a square punch on the chin, where a woman's not. But then like women are harder to choke out than men just by where our arteries are placed.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Where are their arteries?
It's just they're just like they're like a little deeper. They're just not the same as men. Like it's really easy to choke out a big man
because it's just
they go
right
out.
there.
Yeah, it's just right there.
Yeah. Whoa, that's pretty crazy.
So there's like anatomical stuff that goes into that. And they're not the same.
For sure,
and for a good reason.
Okay, so what age did you say when you first started? Or when did you start martial arts?
I started martial arts when I was 4.
4, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. And you started with
karate.
And you are now a black belt?
Third degree.
Yeah, I got
Can you explain the difference? What's the difference first, second, third degree? What does that mean?
So it's like levels of skill. So but this is back in the day. So karate now is not what it used to be. It's like extremely soft. So my original instructor is the guy who brought karate to Colorado. His name was Ralph Krause. Like he was like one of the founding fathers in Colorado for this. Like he trained Chuck Norris, like one of the Lees. He was training major people at the time, and he was hard. Like he would hit us with sticks. I remember being 5 years old and like I wasn't making a complete fist and I was getting whacked with a stick and like wanting to quit and crying and trying to run off the floor, and he was like, absolutely not, get back on the floor.
Toughened
and
you
my mom
up.
and my mom's watching like, you're hitting her, and he's like, do you want her to be a quitter her whole life? No, then she needs to do this.
Damn, good for him.
Yeah, so it was like a way different scene. Like if you were hitting 5-year-olds with sticks
You're
today,
in jail. Yeah, you're going to jail for sure.
or like he would kick us over. Like if he seen your stance was like crap, he'd kick you right to the floor.
Yeah.
Like, there was like
He wants to show you your weakness so you can improve it.
Yeah, it was no funny business. Yeah, Saturday mornings I'd spend doing thousands of kicks, like thousands, and I would be like crying. He'd be like, "Go ahead, cry through it. You have like this many more,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna clean the
Not
dojo."
going to give you any less by crying.
Yeah,
I feel bad for anybody who fucks with Lavida, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Saying from 4 years on, you're getting hit with sticks.
Well, yeah, that was wild because I had to get permission to test for my black belt early. Because you're supposed to be a certain age, just like in jiu-jitsu, like you cannot get a jiu-jitsu blue belt before like the age of 16.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's like there's like little rules like that. Like you're not supposed to technically do that. And same with black belts, like you are not supposed to be belted if you were younger than a certain age. So you, like my instructor had to write to the board and ask them like, hey, she wants to test. And then on my black belt test, they added like almost 2 hours of stuff to my test, which a black belt test is 6 hours long, or at least they used to be. So it's a 6 hour long test. They added more to like, you have to prove like, yeah, you deserve this belt. So I was teaching adults when I was like 9 and 10 years old, and I'd have these grown men in my class like disrespecting me. And I would turn to like, you know, our grandmaster and be like, this guy will not listen to me. Make him do push-ups. Like, what? Tell him to get down on the floor and do push-ups. Like if he doesn't want to follow your directions, he can do push-ups. So I'd have grown men like go to the back of the class and do 25 push-ups, and they'd be like, oh, fuck you little Phoebe. I'm a higher belt than you. I'm at the front of the class. So I think having that power at such a young age, I am so bossy now. Like I just take control of situations. You know, just give me the power. But yeah, and I would be sparring those men too, and they'd be frustrated, and I'd be kicking the crap out of them. And that's just how it went. And not
just young, small too. No offense. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
5'2". Okay.
I'm 5'2". I'm short as shit.
Yeah.
I don't feel this short though.
Well, because your skill set probably.
Also, I think I'm so mean.
Really? You are as tall as you
like
portray to be.
My attitude's like 6'4".
Yeah. She's like, I'm like 6'4", 225.
Like I literally like I walk around and like men will like talk to me or hit on me, and I'm like, I could kick your ass.
Yeah. Like, well, that was my thought a minute ago was I was like, don't fuck with Lavida, because like you don't realize I would have never guessed just looking at, like, we just met. I would have never guessed like you were getting hit with a stick at 4 years old.
No, I'm a honey badger. Belt. Like I will rip your throat out.
That would be a good nickname for her, right? The honey badger.
Do you have a nickname?
Yeah. Do you
Trouble.
have one?
Trouble. There you go.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
Here comes trouble.
That's just trouble.
Wow. Did you now? So that's not a common experience. Obviously, did you ever have situations at school where people messed with you and found out the hard way?
Oh yeah. I remember. So it's so funny. We were just talking about this with my son, with my parents. I remember being in like the 3rd grade, and this little boy kept fucking with me. Like just fucking with me, pulling my hair. And I told my dad, like making fun of me because I'm adopted. So he's like, oh, you're an adopted kid. Like you're like, nobody wants you.
And the whole time you're kind of letting it slide.
I'm like, well, because you're trained. Like when you do karate, it's like you use it for defense. You use it to protect somebody. You do not use it to like handle your issues. Like, and there, it used to be very disciplined. Like this is a respect thing. Carry yourself like you're a black belt. Like when you go out in the world, you're representing our dojo.
Sure.
And so I came home and I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I want to punch this boy in his face. I want to punch him right in his face. And my dad said, okay, yeah, like I understand that. If he hits you back, can you take that punch back? And I'm like, oh yeah, I could get punched back by this kid. And he's like, then hit him. And I was like, all right, am I going to get in trouble? And he's like, if he keeps messing with you and he's getting in your face, punch him right in the nose. If he hits you back, you know you can take it, hit him back again, and teach him a lesson. So I cracked this little boy in the face. I cracked him so hard. And his nose is bleeding. We get sent to the principal's office, and they're like, they call his mom. His mom's freaking out. They call my parents up. Both my parents come because my dad left work. He's like, no, we're going to talk about this. And he said, maybe you should teach your kid how to fight. told that to the lady. And he said, and he shouldn't be running his mouth to little girls. And she's like, well, he's bleeding. And my dad's like, good. And he's like, what do you want after this? And I was like, an ice cream? He's like, after this, we're leaving and she's getting an ice cream. And they're like, well, we're sending her home for the day. And my mom's like, that's fine.
I like your dad.
Yeah.
She's going home with an ice
But
cream.
so,
bro.
yeah. So I always, but also like in that, like if you're going to swing at a dude, be prepared to get hit by a dude.
By a
Like
dude.
no matter what.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Don't have this the audacity that I'm going to hit somebody and I'm going to have zero repercussions.
Yeah. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Like Tyson quote, right? Wow, that is absolutely wild. I am a little curious to get your thoughts on because I do want to talk a little bit more, Pierce, about the Tyson,
Oh man,
Jake Paul.
that joke of a joke,
Yeah,
the clown town.
Yeah. So when we watched it, everybody was like sad, like, oh, Mike Tyson's gotten so old, and now
No.
these clips,
He held
like,
back, bro. Yeah.
No, he held back.
Held back is a light way to say it.
The few times that he did hit him, Jake Paul, that Tyson hit Jake Paul, just clarify, he stunned him.
Yeah,
The
he pushed
look
him
on
back.
his face
Yeah.
is pure fear.
And he started scrambling around. Like,
Yeah.
No, and it's almost like when your older sibling hits you and you're like, what the heck? That was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard. That's like
Yeah.
the picture I got from it. Like
Okay.
when he's in his head, like, this isn't what we agreed on. We're
I
supposed
haven't-
to be play fighting.
I'm stuck in my little school world and I haven't talked to anybody about any of this. And when the fight first happened, nobody was talking about it. And I was just there was a few moments in the fight where you're like, that looked weird. That looked real weird. And now that you get the chance to go over and peruse all this footage and like look at it carefully, there's so many times he would have knocked him out clean.
Easily.
Like
Easily.
he would have been asleep.
In the first round.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Oh, 100%. And you can see there's so many of them. They're so funny. Like Jake Paul's got the wrong arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking wide
Looking,
open.
yeah.
And Tyson's like, yeah.
Or even
And
And he
like-
like just holds back. Yeah.
Yeah, or even Jake Paul's like this, drops his hand. Mike Tyson goes to punch him. It's like halfway there and just like pulls the punch.
totally.
Yeah.
I'm
He
like-
pulled a lot of punches in that fight.
So many fights. But did you guys see the clip after the fight? Like after they announced the win, Jake Paul turns to him and he goes, "Don't worry, bro. I've got your money."
Yep.
And it's like, I don't know. See, as a fighter, as somebody with a huge ego, like I don't care about the amount of money. Like I'm not
it's
going to lose
pride.
to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's like-
I thought about it because I don't think anybody thinks of Tyson like that. But watching his podcasts and stuff over the last several years, he's really become about getting rid of his ego. Like I remember in that little interview with that little kid.
Yeah.
who asked him about that, and he was like, like legacy is just an extension of ego, and I don't.
Well, and then somebody was saying too that Jake Paul had told Tyson that he would pay off all his debts. And so I'm like, from a financial aspect, yeah, that's brilliant. Like I guess maybe I could lose a fight if somebody's like, I'm going to handle all your debt. Just let me win. But then also I'm like, oh.
Seems like not in the nature of a fighter, and of all fighters, Mike Tyson.
But then also he's old, so it's like
he's
maybe
old.
he just
and
doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe deep down he's like, I could whoop this kid's ass.
He's like,
What does this matter to me?
And everybody was talking about the biting of the gloves because he always had that habit, but he was doing it like crazy because he probably didn't know what to fucking do with his arms.
because he was.
He's like,
he's just
I
holding
would
it
have
back. Exactly.
murdered this dude already.
Well, and then you watch him in training, they're saying like, oh, he was tired. I'm like, did you see that man
he's
train?
like, yeah, like,
No.
Like, did you see him train?
No,
That
he's-
he was not tired.
No.
He was not tired.
And come on, like I don't care how many years that you've not been in an actual fight. Like that was an 8-round, 2-minute, round each. He's not going to tire out. Come on.
No, he was good. He was good. And the other moment too, not just at the end when he said, "I got your money" or whatever, but it was right after he landed. What was it like I can't even remember what it was. You would know better than me. It was like a left cross or something. I don't know. He caught him with a left and stunned the shit out of Jake Paul.
Yes.
And then right after that, Paul wrapped him up.
Yeah,
they
and
were
then
ear to
he
ear.
tapped.
And then you even see Tyson just kind of tap him like, "I got the message."
Yeah. Well, when he got hit and he's like this, like, you're like,
He looked like such an amateur.
Yeah.
So-
I mean-
and then won the fight.
I mean, if I was Tyson, I would have just knocked him out anyways because he got paid to show.
Yeah.
So even
He
if
got
you're
the
not
20
getting
million
that
to show,
extra,
yeah.
even if you're not getting that money after, fuck it. You're
But
already getting
is
paid.
it possible? I was wondering how these things work. Is it possible there was some stipulation nobody knew about in some part of the
Some
contract
lawyer-
that they've
lawyer
got a
thing,
contract
I'm
where
sure.
if he does it, he
I'm
loses
sure
all his
with
money.
that much money on the line, I'm sure there was.
Yeah, yeah.
He does the classic dodgeball, right? He takes the money, but then he bets on himself and gets all that.
Yeah.
It made me feel better once I realized that the whole thing was staged, though, because it was sad for me. I was like, how in the world could a man develop skills like that to that level for his whole life? He was like one of the baddest men ever to live on the planet. And we know he's old, but he's training like crazy.
Yeah,
he's
but
doing
he's still,
all the technology.
Yeah, but then you get that old man strength on top of your
Dude, old man strength is real.
Yes, that is a real thing.
That's why
That
they
is a
always
real
say
thing.
power's the last thing to go. Like maybe
Yeah.
your reflexes a little, but he's
But
still.
but even in watching him train,
His reflexes
his
and-
footwork, that was like
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. That
Yeah.
footwork's still golden.
Well, the thing that drives me crazy all the time about Jake Paul is that, like, it's like if you fought a real boxer, like even if you went to like alphabet soup, you went into one of those alphabet soups and you tried to work your way up, the lowest person on that is fucking Jake Paul up.
Well, and-
like even
Yes.
Fury,
Yeah.
Fury, who was not like a super boxer, but
No.
he is a boxer,
Yeah.
beat him. Like, and he's like a nobody either, but still.
I just do feel with that much money and like the trainers that you could provide or like provide yourself and the athletic abilities that you can have an opportunity to like pick apart, you should be able to fight a real fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're paying all this money for these trainers. You should be able to fight a real boxer, not an 80-year-old man.
Yeah. Or MMA fighters, and
Yeah.
aren't strikers, they're
Yeah, or other YouTubers.
So
Yeah.
how many people are in on it? The whole corners,
I mean,
everybody
you have to,
involved.
it would
to.
have to be both of their managers, the promotion, and then their corners.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, holy shit. That's crazy. Like I said, I have mixed emotions because on one hand, I'm like, I can't believe one of my heroes did that. That like just fucking took a fall on purpose. Like, come on.
Like, this is not who we grew up watching.
But at the same time, it gave me hope because going into the fight, I was like, I think if you take extremely good care of yourself and if you spent an entire lifetime refining skills like that, like you're still going to, no matter how strong or physically fit this kid is, or even how much power he's got, you're going to lay him out because your skill set's just so dramatically different. And then after the fight, let me ask you both this. Did either of you pick up on it during the fight?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
You were like, clearly this is...
The first step you could tell. I was like, this is not shit. I was at work. I was at work and watching
Sure.
on my phone, and I'm like, supposed to be taking care of customers. And I'm like, you guys are fine.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta see this.
Can you stop interrupting my viewing of this fight right now?
Yeah, my tells were obviously the glove biting was ridiculous. Like you said, he had to bite the glove just to hold back because he was just like,
And it was,
I'm gonna
and people
punch
kept
him.
saying, "Well, he's always had that habit." Show me a fight where he did it that
Yeah,
much.
no.
Yeah.
He's never. It's a
No,
here
because he's
and there.
busy punching people in
Yeah,
the face.
exactly.
Yes.
He doesn't have time
He's
to have
busy
his biting
throwing
glove.
his hands. Yeah.
Yeah. So sad. Such an obvious bullshit fight.
And then his answer at the end was cracking me up when it was like, you were biting your gloves so much. I have a oral
Fixation.
You're like, bro.
Like, get out of here.
I just don't think he realizes how much joy it would have brought to the whole world to watch
Yes.
58-year-old Mike Tyson just really let him have it
Yeah.
and just put him down and end this stupid boxing thing that this guy is pretending to do.
Well, and that's the thing with boxing right now, and I think that's why it's kind of dying.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just so staged. It's not pure like it used to be.
Weird judging.
And there's so much politics too. There's way more, like there's a lot of politics in MMA in general, but in boxing, I feel like it's a whole other level.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
a whole other level.
I think boxing got ruined by the Bob Arum era, where he owned most of the fighters.
Yeah.
And so it was like all the top fighters, and then all the top fighters are not going to fight each other. Fighters that are owned by the same person, they're not fighting each other, dude. The same promotion, they're not going to do that. They're not going to put themselves through that. And so, yeah, that was the whole thing when there was like the two major promoters. Mm-hmm. They're never fighting each other, and it's a money grab, right?
Absolutely.
It's all a money grab, and it's just boxing's definitely not like it used to be like when we were kids.
Yeah. Way to ruin it, Mike Tyson. God.
Damn. Were there ever situations as you got older where you found yourself like having to ever have fucking somebody up, like in high school, anything like that?
No, mostly in high school, everybody was scared of me.
People knew by then.
So the only real incident in high school that I went to East High School, and my locker was next to this chick who was a linebacker for our football team.
Wow.
She was 6'4", 300 pounds, big girl. And she would fuck with me every day. And she would slam my locker shut, all this crap. And then one day, and I kept
And did
telling
she
my
know
friends,
you were a fighter and stuff?
No.
Oh.
No, I was
Oh,
I was a freshman. I was a freshman at the time, and she was a senior. And I had told a bunch of friends, I was like, I'm going to fight her. I'm so sick of it. And they're like, she's going to murder you. She's huge. Even the guys we're scared of her. We play football with her. We're scared of her. And I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm so sick of her. I don't care if I get my ass kicked. Like she needs to know that I'm not tolerating this anymore. Cause it was so bad. Like she had slammed my hand in my locker at one point, and I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And so back in the day, it was East High School. There was this church. The church had a basketball court and a gas station on the corner. Now it's all different. And it's a huge rec center now. But so we would meet. Everybody would always meet on the basketball courts to fight. And I remember just kicking her. I kicked her square in the face. We go to fight, and I just kicked her square in the face, and then I dipped. Like, got on the RTD bus. Like, I did what I needed to. She was shocked. Everybody's like, "What the hell?" Like,
did she go down?
Yeah,
hard.
She was crying. But I just remember I just like booted her in the face and then left because I was like, this doesn't need to even be a fight.
That's
Because girls, they yap. They're, it's like all this yapping, and I'm like, I'm not here to do that. Like, I just want you to leave me the hell alone. So I kicked her in the face, and then I just casually got on the bus and left. Yeah. That was that. And then the next day, she didn't do shit with my locker. She left me the hell alone. Didn't ever say a word to me. And everybody from that moment was like, "You're crazy." I'm like, I'm not crazy. I just don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take an ass beating if I have to like prove a point. But I don't know. I'm not really scared of anybody.
Yeah.
The very first time I ever seen anybody, like a girl, kick another girl straight in the face is when I was bouncing. And it cracked me up because I was like, you don't think about it, but it was this girl's first move.
Yeah, that's
like it was the first move, and this other girl did not expect it, and they were just like talking. They're like, and all of a sudden it was like, boom, high kick to the face.
Was it me?
Like it was.
but seriously, was it me?
No.
Okay, thank God, because that's my signature move too. Even like in my kickboxing fights, my first move is I'm gonna teep you right in the face. Like I'm gonna kick you right in the face.
She did like a Kane Undertaker big boot to the face, dude. This girl, she was like, it was a straight leg, just pow, and everyone was like, oh, and I was like, oh,
well, this is.
I was like, you have to leave, and she's like, yeah, okay, it's fine. And she was like, and she walked out. This other girl's just laying on the ground, and everyone's like, "God damn!" Just like,
was she out cold, like sleeping, or was she?
This girl was wearing platform shoes too, dude.
Yeah, so it was like a.
Back to the yapping thing. Yeah. She was just yapping.
She was just teaching lessons that night. That's all.
My God.
Sometimes you gotta learn.
But I just remember that being like, it's funny because now I met a real person in real life now. That's my first move. I'm gonna kick you in the face. Like,
which
damn.
is crazy is at 5'2" to face kick somebody who's 6'4" and no problem.
I that's like one thing when I spar people, they're like, God, your little legs are just always in my face.
How you get them way up there? That's
You're just
wild.
there. I'm like, well, it's easy.
Damn.
Just swing them up there.
I think back in the day, there was probably a lot more. People say bullying's on the rise, but I feel like we're smarter now because, like, you know what I mean? We were quicker to get in fights when we were younger. But as an older person and looking around now at all the trained people that are everywhere, just fucking trained killers, you fuck around and find out real quick.
Well, I don't know. I feel like we need to bring back fist fights. I don't think there's enough. I think more people should hit people in the face when they're running their mouth. Back in the day,
that's how it was. Even friends, you know what I mean? You'd get in a fight.
But you learn.
Not only did you learn, but like a lot of times you could squash the beef after that.
Yeah. You're like, we're fine.
Like,
You're right.
Yeah, it's
I was
over.
Dick. You just socked me in my mouth, and I won't talk to you like that again.
Grab a beer. Whatever,
But with the bullying on the rise, no, bullying is not on the rise. People who are entitled and wanting their feelings to be heard are on the rise.
100%.
Well, remember back in the day, I don't think Seattle has it anymore, but they had a thing called mutual combat.
Yeah.
Like if you got with somebody's like, yo, you want to fight? He's like, yeah. So you agree to fight? You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, bring
then
back duels.
It was fine. It was like mutual combat was like a real thing. Like you could fight somebody If you were just like, is this cool? We're fighting. We're going to fight. All right. You're not going to get all pissed off when you get your ass kicked, right? And it's like, no, I'm going to kick your ass. And
Like,
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
That's how our middle school gym teacher was. His name was Mr. Wojtek, and he would let you box each other. He'd be like, you guys aren't going to argue and bicker in my class.
Yeah.
Like, come after school, put the gloves on.
We
Done.
do that at our middle school.
Oh, do you?
On lunchtime.
Nice.
They have a lunchtime thing.
Oh,
where
that's awesome.
They go out and the kids love it.
It's good for them.
It is good for them.
Let them get it out. Then you're not in the hallway. They're not disrupting class. There's a designated time. You could kind of watch it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everybody watches the whole lunch. Like there's one
he's
guy.
actually running
Tony-
a ring.
Tony-
He's betting on kids. That's how he's making
my
this
phone's
money.
So he's running around with dollars. What you got? What do you, I got 2 to 1, 2 to 1.
2 to 1, 2 to 1.
Okay.
All right, I'll bets in. I'll bets in.
That's how he actually affords his snacks.
Yeah, no,
Put a bag
it
of
is
hot
good.
Cheetos on this.
It's back to what we were saying. I just think it's part of who we are. It's how our bodies are designed. Like we have all these reactions for a reason. You know, when your adrenaline gets pumping and stuff like that, get it out. Like when we don't, that's why we have all these issues.
Well, it's
That's
like,
why-
yeah, those primal instincts
Yeah.
to hunt, gather,
Sure.
fight. Like we're still people like my feelings this, my feelings that. I'm like, go fucking grow a plant. Go kill an animal and skin it. Like, and we'll see how your feelings are. Go adjust your feelings that way. Like,
That's
you're
good
sitting
advice.
you're sitting on your cell phone, listening to everybody else's feelings and your feelings, like all these feelings, and it's like, go do things.
It's like that dumb meme where it's like somebody was like, I don't know, I just feel really depressed and down today. I don't know why. And like, did you get enough sleep? No. Did you eat healthy? No. Did you exercise? No. Did you? And you're like, yeah. That's why you feel like
That's why I
that.
feel like
Have
shit.
you had any social interaction besides like on your phone?
on your phone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Social interactions are important, dude. I'm a telephone person. He knows that.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
will-
like to talk on the phone?
Yeah, I'll talk to you. Like I check on my people all the time. Like I call
Oh,
friends.
okay. Okay.
Yes.
I call friends. I'm like, yo, hey, how you doing? Like I want to talk to. I'm not like this. How are you doing?
Mike is
Are
the
you
glue for all of us. He keeps
Aw.
all of us together. Like people I haven't seen in years. The only reason I still see him occasionally is because
Because of him.
Yeah, but no, I think it's important. Like not
Well,
just.
you better never die, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, we've discussed this on the podcast before. Like, by the time I am advanced aged, technology is going to be up there, and I'm just replacing stuff with metal and bone and stuff like
He
that.
wants,
So I'm
he
just
wants
gonna,
to be a
Wolverine.
robotic
yeah,
man.
I'm gonna be 392 before I die. That's
All right.
gonna
Well,
happen,
as long
so.
as you're keeping everybody together still, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, as long as you're doing good work on it.
Yeah.
Then, well, we can let you live as long as you want, Pierce. Smart.
But no, yeah, social interaction
He's
is
like,
super
"What?"
important. Yeah,
Guys.
He does the robot really well.
real well. This is the first time in 150 years I've been able to perform it so well.
He just carries WD-40 in his fanny pack.
Like the Tin Man.
Tin Man. I was about to say,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
Tin
yeah.
Man over here. No, I think social interaction is super important. It's just for even growth, like, in kids, everyone here at this table has kids, and, I'll yell at mine, be like, hey, kid, stop doing that. Go do something, go play, go talk to somebody, go let's have some social interaction. Quit playing on your fucking computer all the time, and because, when we were kids,
We were outside, man.
I was outside all
All the time. We
From-
lived outside.
Yes, especially like during the spring and summer, like as soon as the sun was up outside, not back in until the sunset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't really do that now because there's all these goddamn weirdos out.
I mean, there's always been weirdos.
I know,
now
but
they
there's
just
like
have-
an influx of them now. There's like an influx. Like it's been so normalized. I feel like it's just acceptable.
I remember when I was a kid, my mom had rules as to how early we could leave the house. Because like I get up and I'm like, I'm going to go play outside. I'm going to go play. Let's go play. If anybody's up, I'm going to go play. My mom was like, not before 8:00. Do not go to somebody else's house and their parents
Yeah.
are sleeping. And it's
Yeah.
like, they want to sleep in. And I'm like, dang, dude. I just
We used to have my friend Billy Luna, growing up, and he would do that to everybody. And back in the day, that was the difference, was that like he had an easy time getting into our house, and he always would. We'd wake up and he'd be like in the kitchen making breakfast, and my parents would be like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, "Good morning." Open my door, like, "Wake me up. Get up, dude. Get up." You're just like,
We always had the coolest yard on the block because we always had like a cool ass swing set and stuff. So neighbor kids would be in our yard playing.
It was your
before
house.
we were even like awake, and they weren't even friends with us.
"Oh,
They weren't even friends with us. I'd be like, I hate you. Get out of my yard. Like
That's
throwing balls
crazy.
at them.
Yeah, but you're with that house. You had all the cool shit.
Yeah.
So everybody wanted to be there, having fun.
Yeah, not so much like it was just the backyard. Our backyard was our backyard growing up was like phenomenal. We had a garden, we had fruit trees. Like there was snacks all day long. You didn't have to go inside for snacks. You're like eating grapes off the vine, cherries and shit.
Dang,
but
nice.
yeah, not like nowadays. I'm like, yeah, kids are just weird. They're just different now. I mean, you teach middle school.
Oh, yeah. And it's been real different since COVID. COVID really changed.
Yeah, it really messed kids up.
It really did. And
it messed them up.
Everybody thought about the academic loss. Everybody was talking about, they're losing. They're falling behind in math. They're falling behind in this. I'm like, they're falling behind in life.
Interaction.
That. And that's why I was telling my daughter, she's going, I have my youngest daughter is online this year for 8th grade.
Okay.
And my son did 1 year of online. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember him,
The other one refuses. She's like, I just need to go in. I need to be around
Yeah.
my friends. She's like super social. But for both of them, they didn't want to do it after they tried it, because they realize, well, actually the young one wants to, but when we had a real heart-to-heart conversation, she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Because it makes it hard. Then you go and try to hang out with people. You don't know how to interact. You don't no one talks about how much of that they learn in school. You learn with how to deal with assholes. You learn that there's a variety of people. You learn that weird shit happens. You learn that life's not perfect. You learn that you don't know what to expect every day. And without that, and you have this nice little controlled environment in your home, and you log onto your computer, and that's where you do your academic work. And she's super bright, so she's crushing it. But I'm like, wouldn't she be more challenged at school? Not just academically, but like being around other kids.
Yeah, but some of those other kids are such little. They're just
Totally.
Like, oh.
But I think you need that.
See, my son did so much better. He was online for 2 years during COVID, and he went from being the bottom of his class to being the absolute top of his class. And then with the socialization part, like I don't know about you guys, but like I take my kids everywhere with me. Like even my 5-month-old, she was at the fights with me last weekend. Like they're well socialized, but I feel like there's a sense of maturity to it because they're around other adults. They see that and like. Yep. But like with my son, I was like, he did so much better academically.
There's a lot of kids like that.
And like his socialization, he was still doing jiu-jitsu. We were still rolling. So
see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah.
As long as he had something else.
Yeah. I was like, so he had that interaction with like that way. So it's just like, I don't know. And school these days, I feel like they don't give you guys a lot of time to actually teach because you spend so much time wrangling. Like I had to sit in my son's school a couple times in the 8th grade. A couple days, like full days, I sat every single class and I was like, how the hell are these teachers supposed to teach? There's like a girl in the corner pretending she's a goddamn cat. There's these boys over here doing God knows what. This kid's in the window. This poor teacher's like at the front of the room. Like I can't actually discipline them because, this kid, one of the kids is like, you're just telling me that because I'm gay. And she's like, I'm not telling you to do it because you're gay. I'm telling you because it's classwork. And I was like, I'm in the back of this classroom like,
I'm about to slap some kids.
No, I told him, I was like, so that's me. I will tell other people's kids shit. Like, I was like, you guys need to sit down and shut the hell up. And they were like, oh, another adult's telling me what to do.
Yeah. See, I always tell Mike this. I just start with love because I do it because I love the kids. I really do.
Yeah.
And so I focus on building the relationships and loving those kids. But then when they trust you and you have a good relationship and they respect you and all that, then you can say, sit down, shut the hell up. What are you doing? And they're going to I don't say it like that.
Yeah.
I would definitely get in trouble if I said it like that.
My son's science teacher, he was like the most hard ass teacher in their middle school. And at the beginning of the year, he'd tell parents like, I don't take shit. I don't care.
Yeah, good.
I'll respect your kids, but if they want my respect, they got to respect me back. And he was like, your kid's probably not going to like me because I have rules and I actually follow through with my rules. And my son was like, I love this. And he's like, you're just like my mom. And
the kids don't even realize it, but kids in general need it.
They need structure.
They thrive when there's structure.
Yeah. And it was funny too, because like even coaching kids myself, like I'm like, no, you're going to say like, yes, coach, no, coach. Like we're following the rules. We're not going to cry on the mat. You're not going to sit on the mat and cry for your mom.
Yeah.
Like this isn't mommy time. Like you're on the mat to learn.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I feel like kids these days, they're so entitled and they know they could get away with so much or like, just blame me everything. Like, oh, I misunderstood. No, you're just a teenager. You're just a preteen. You're just going through puberty.
Right.
No, you were saying like, the interactions with the children, like Callie goes everywhere with me, and she's been on our podcast before. We had Callie as a special guest podcast.
That was fun.
11-year-old just out. Well, no, 10 at the time.
It was so interesting to hear.
Yeah.
Her perspective. She talked like crazy. It was the least we ever talked on a show.
Yeah, I know. And it's so funny because out of me, and I guess that's how it works, right? Me, I'm super social, I'm super extroverted, and then my daughter is the opposite.
Yeah.
And she's just like real quiet, real reserved, and everything like that. And I go to her school a lot too. Like I do this thing called they do watchdogs, and so it's like the dads go to the school and they they walk around, they help out where you need to go help out, right?
That's really
and so
cool.
you walk the halls, you're a sense of security to kids, and like you're out on the recess and kids are asking you questions, and it's always like, whose dad are you? Like little kids, and like the neighbor kid, he's in kindergarten, and he's like that's my neighbor, and everyone's like, that's your neighbor.
And there's this big guy walking around.
That's so cute.
Kids crack me up though. They're just like that. They're like, that's their neighbor.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, kids aren't as tough these days though, and it's because we
Coddle
nerf the whole world. Yeah, we coddle them. Exactly.
There's foam corners everywhere.
I told you, you've heard this. Yeah, you've heard the stories about basketball growing up. I played basketball with my dad and uncles and all my friends, and I lived. It was kind of a little ghetto where I lived. We had like dirt all over the side next to the driveway. I ate dirt so many times.
Yeah.
Bro. Like they would just shove me into the ground and then push me out of the way. And
that's
shoot
how
the
I am
shot.
with my son. I am so rough and tumble with my son. Like everybody's like, oh, his dad must be really tough. I'm like, his dad isn't shit.
His mom is tough.
Yeah. But he would tell people that. Like he would tell other kids. I remember him being in elementary school and being like, my mom will beat up your dad. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. I will.
If some kid rolls up to you and says that, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That mom is wild.
Yeah,
that mom's wild.
But like I'm so rough with my son. I will
good.
when he's mouthing off, I'm like, put on the gloves and I will box him out in the living room. I push all the furniture to the side and I fuck him up.
Put him in his place.
Yeah.
Remind him.
I was telling Mike earlier, I was like, yeah, well, I was pregnant. He was like, oh, you're finally weak and I could get you. And I Tai Toshi hip tossed him to hell, like on his head. I flipped him through the air on his head. And he was like laying on the floor, all crinkled. I actually was like, "Oh my, are you okay?" Like I knew you were gonna fly. I didn't know you were gonna fly that hard or high.
You were like the older sibling, like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, like don't tell mom. Don't tell your grandma. I just threw you on your neck. But yeah, I'm like, I don't want him to be a Sally. Like I want him to be able to get hit and get back up. And I mean, I'm pretty. Like I'm not harshly honest with him, but I'm like, this is how the real world is. Like you're like, oh, you feel this is unfair? Get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Like get over it. Life is unfair.
Yeah.
Figure a way around it.
It's so funny because like I was telling her, like she reminds me of like my mom when I was growing up, because obviously I'm way bigger than my mom.
Yeah.
But every single time my mom would always let me know. She's like, I don't care how big you are.
Yeah.
She's like, I will fuck you up. And you're like, damn, dude.
That's Jaden and Myra, my wife. She's the same way. She's small too. And my son's huge. And same thing. He's scared shitless of her.
I'll level you.
I'm still scared of my mom, dude.
Yeah.
I'm still scared of my mom, dude. It's just
If you ever need him to get in line, just bring out your wooden spoon.
My mom has death stare, bro. And it's just like you knew
that's
when to stop.
am.
If you were like out in public acting like a fool and you got the
Yeah, you could feel it on the back of your neck.
Yeah. And you felt that look and you were like, oh shit. And I just remember like, because my brother was opposite. My brother didn't. He had like, he didn't care. Like he'd get an ass whooping and he'd still keep on doing dumb shit. My mom would be like, you want to go to the car? And he'd be like, yeah. And she was like, okay, let's go. And he's like, oh no, I don't want to go to the car. I don't want to go to the car. You're like, too late, bro.
Bro, you fucked around and found out.
Yeah.
What'd you say yes
I've told
for?
this on the podcast too before. Like, again, I'm not saying my mom beat us like crazy, but there was a time when I remember my mom.
But she beat us.
I remember
it was character building.
My brother was getting, my mom was spanking my brother. My brother turned around and made the fatal mistake.
Oh,
he said,
no.
He goes, that didn't hurt.
Oh, my sister did that once.
Kids die that way.
My mom looked at me, and I just remember, because this is when we were young, and she goes, get out. And I was all, no, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Don't kill him, Mom. Don't kill him. She's like, get out. You're like, okay, I don't want to get killed either. So,
so funny, bro. Oh my God.
Well, a little bit of child abuse, it's fine. There's character building, then there's traumatizing. And, parents just write that fine line. Fine line.
Yeah, kids need that though. They need structure. They need all those kind of things. You know what I mean? If you don't have it, you get what we have now. You get this generation that we have. It's like complete entitlement. Nobody knows how to do it. Even my own kids, like I have to work so hard to make them self-sufficient. It's like it's like pulling teeth. You're just like,
yeah, it's so different. It's like I know I look at my son and he's in high school and I'm like, when I was your age, I had a full-time job. I was cage fighting. I was fighting in a cage, and I got myself to school. Like, you need help making toast.
yeah,
Not really. He's actually.
But I know what you mean.
But it's like he could cook, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, whoa, like did I grow up too fast, or are you immature as hell?
Yeah,
It's just a different generation.
I rode my bike everywhere.
Yeah.
Like my mom, dad, they didn't drive me. Like if I had to go somewhere, like I rode my bike.
Find a way. How are you
Like,
getting there?
I
How
rode
are
my
you
bike
back?
to work. You know, I worked at King Supers when I was like 15 years old, bro. And like,
Wow.
you know, just like riding my bike, you know, just.
You look really young. So I'm curious. I'm not going to ask you your age because that's a rude thing to do.
that's
Did
not
you grow up
rude.
in it's not?
That's not rude.
I didn't want to make you mad.
People, no.
He's just like, I just heard you hip toss
I probably
people.
have a different perspective on it because when people ask like my age or weight, you're so as a fighter, you're like, yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah. How old are you?
I am 34.
34.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm on
So
that
what year
brink.
were you born?
89.
89. Oh, okay. So you kind of grew up in the 90s then. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I grew up old school. I grew up
That's
like
what I
in a
mean,
gym,
yeah.
and I grew up with a bunch
Yeah.
of old people. All my
right.
friends were old. Like even my first MMA gym was it was Art of War with Augie Lopez. We had all the heavyweights at the time, and it's like that was an old school gym. Like people banged there. Like we took fights with everybody. Like so, it's like I kind of grew up. I grew up a little bit different than I feel like most.
Yeah, that's why I was asking
People.
because you talk just like me or peers. So like,
I'm secretly an old man. I have the soul of the middle-aged man.
Okay, I was like, you said no cup checking. You said no cup checking.
Just my soul.
just my soul.
Just my soul.
One
What's
thing
left of it.
we should do since she's here, it's her first time ever on the show. For every time we have a first guest, we ask them this really specific question. Are you a big music person at all? Do you listen to music?
I
much?
do listen to music.
Oh, yes. I guess I shouldn't phrase it like that. Do you listen to music?
Do you listen to music?
Everybody listens to
Have
music.
you heard of music?
No.
Have you heard of music? Sounds, rhythm. So you want to ask
Yeah,
you're always
so-
the asker.
Every single time that we have somebody on, we ask them one particular question. You're on a tropical island. You have everything you need to live a long, happy life.
Okay.
But when you are stranded on your island, you have a way to play music, but you only have one album to play for the rest of your life. What is that album?
Well, goddamn.
And now while you're thinking about it, Tony Dollars is,
Bob Marley, Catch a Fire, 1973 album.
yeah, and we're both old souls. I am Earth, Wind, and Fire, Gratitude, 1973 as well.
Jesus. I don't even know whole album names. Let me think about this.
That's the age difference between us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
We're
so
old.
and for age differences, we do
Also,
sometimes
I-
accommodate. And
Yeah.
you can
Can you
artist.
accommodate for me?
yeah, you can tell us like an artist that you would have like the artist radio as we discovered. I have a radio.
Yeah.
Probably any of Aretha Franklin's
Oh,
albums, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
another
Any
old
of hers.
soul.
Like she's one of those artists I can listen to all time.
That is a first. That is a first for any guest on.
I have
I
such
didn't
like
mention
bad ADHD when it comes to music. Like if I remember one time I lost back when iPods were a thing, I left my iPod at the gym and the staff were going through it and I like had called up. I'm like, hey, did you guys find an iPod? Like my name's literally engraved in the back of it. And yeah, that's how old I am. Engraved iPods.
Engraved iPods.
wow.
And they were like, yeah, we were trying to figure out if this like belonged to a 75-year-old man or a 13-year-old girl. And I was like, yeah, that's me. That's my iPod. That's me.
Yeah.
I listen to such a wide array and like my playlist, my son hates it. He's like, there's not even a theme to your playlist. He's like, you have like, 90s rap, Cher. He's like, and then it's some shit 21 Pilots and then some heavy metal. Mom, like, this is so annoying to listen to your music. And I'm like, well, then put your headphones on.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, you're
It's
kinda
all
like
over
that
the
too.
place.
Oh, dude, mine is so ridiculously over the place. Like I will be at the gym, and I'm just like, I'm listening. It'll be like Drowning Pool, like let the bodies hit the floor, and then all of a sudden it's Venga Boys, boom, 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 boom. How about you?
No.
You're like,
I know. Everybody has
everywhere.
has this reaction when he tells them
it's
that.
everywhere. It's everywhere, you guys. My musical taste is everywhere.
Yeah, same. I'll have hip hop, country, rap, rock, 90s rock, everything. My favorite, if I had to pick though, my favorite like genre, it would be like the old classic rock, what they used to call classic rock.
Yes.
Because at some point, all the 90s bands.
Ancient rock?
The ancient rock. That's what you got to call it.
Now they're calling classic rock like.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Like
it was like
Maroon 5
yeah,
and Sugar Ray. You're like, what?
Yeah. So that's my son loves like genuine classic rock and like 90s hip hop, 90s rap.
Yes.
And so like the other day it was like, they were like, oh yeah, now we're going to play some classic rock. And it was like Green Day. And my son was like, what the hell, Mom? Green Day's not classic rock. Like
you are raising that boy correct.
And I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. This is garbage.
I remember when we were kids, like my uncle Dave would pick us up and Cozy 101.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool 105. Okay. Cool 105 used to play oldies. And we're talking like oldies are like, the 50s and 60s.
Yes.
They were playing that and everything like that. You guys, Cool 105, like the oldie station now plays like 80s.
Yeah. It's weird.
Whoa.
And I was telling Dollar, like I get offended now, like when they're saying, like when kids nowadays are like, when were you born? And you're like, oh, I was born in 1982. Like, oh, the late 1900s? You're like, God damn, this sounds old.
Yeah, don't say it like that.
The late
Don't say it
1900s.
Or like
that.
when you date check stuff and you're like, yeah, a few years ago, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this came out 20 years ago. I was checking a movie date. I was telling my son, I was like, oh yeah, he's like, Mom, that movie's so old. I'm like, it's not that old. And I pull it up. It was like 1995. And I was like,
damn.
oh yeah,
You know
that's
what?
pretty
Almost
old.
30 years old.
You know what
That's
fucked
pretty
me up recently? You know that song Fireflies by Owl City?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought legit. I was like, yeah, I heard that in high school. Da, 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 da. And I was like, someone was like, that wasn't when you were in high school, bro. And I was like, no, yeah, I swear that's when I was in high school. It's, in the 90s. And it was all, no, dude, that I think that came out in like late 2010s. I was like, fuck, no, it didn't. And I looked and I was like 2009. I was like, oh.
Weird. Yeah.
I am all fucked up with that.
I know. Sometimes I feel like we're like in a time warp. I'm like, because we're like,
100%.
because I feel like this like age of human beings, like we're like history and future at the same time. Because we were born before everybody had access to the internet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then like we're in this like time where it's like we're so advanced, but we are also from this old age. So it's like this time warp pull where it's like we're history and we're the future at the same time.
Well, I've told Dollar this before because me and Dollar are over and we're in our 40s. We're in a classification called Zennials. And so we're not millennials, we're Zennials. And so which means that we grew up in the analog age.
Yeah.
And we were born in the analog age and then grew up with the digital age. So everything came out, we learned and grew with it. Rather than, people that now they're born into digital, that all they've ever known is technology. Meanwhile, we were like, shit, I didn't have shit.
I literally remember the beginning of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Same.
shit's crazy.
I do
Crazy
too.
to think about that.
Getting those AOL 50 hours free discs from the
Yeah.
store.
I still have a Hotmail email account.
Yeah, so do I. So do
Hey,
I.
Pierce, you got somebody else out there with one.
My MSN just got shut down like 2 years ago. They're like, you can't use this shit anymore.
Oh man, does
Oh,
Hotmail
okay.
have a chat or something, guys? You guys
Yeah, we're gonna link up.
link up on
Link up.
Hotmail.
Yeah, screw LinkedIn. We're bringing back MySpace.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
MySpace. Oh my god, I remember that one too.
That was the best. You could rate your friends, and when one acted up, you're dropped off the list.
Yeah, you're not on my top friends no more, bro. You're like, what? Or you just go to
moved out.
someone's page and then peep it like, oh, they must have fought. They must
Yeah.
have not on the top
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But it was like, but then like depending on how much shit you had on your page too, right? Because you could have like different backgrounds and
Yeah,
they'd be
and then the
animated
music
and the
and-
music but like it would take forever for your page to
To
load
load.
up.
Yeah, you're like 5 minutes later. Damn it, I'm not your top two. What the hell? What did I do to you? You didn't tell me happy birthday before everybody else.
So weird how times have changed.
So I know I was trying to explain to my son because I had like an iPod video when they first came out. So I'm trying to explain to him this. He's like, why didn't you just look on your phone? I'm like,
Oh my God.
phones didn't do that, dude. Phones didn't do that. I was like, I think I had what's that stupid card game?
Solitaire.
Thank you. Yeah, Solitaire. I was like, I think that was like I had to download that game. I was like, there was not
Right.
Shit, not
Right.
even that. Like back in the day when people had the Nokias.
Yeah.
You were playing Snake.
Yes.
on the Nokia.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
trying to explain to him, I'm like, yeah, my iPod was awesome. Like I could watch videos on my iPod. And he was like, big big deal.
I know. Well, where I really realized it, this was years ago, when I was trying to talk to my 3 kids, and I realized they can't even conceptualize a world without the internet.
Yeah, which
Like,
kind of sad.
Like, what do you mean there's no internet? It's like,
Yeah.
there's no gravity? There was no, like, there was
Yeah.
no sun? What do you mean?
How did you guys get your food?
Yeah. How did you do anything without the internet? And it's like,
I think the funniest
We're
thing
fine.
ever is when having a child is, I told Tony this before. Callie asked me when she was real young, she goes, what was the world like when it turned to color? They're like, what? And I was like,
Oh,
because she was thinking about black and white TVs.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, oh no, honey, no. The world's always been color, but
Yeah.
her brain was just like, what happened when it turned color? Did you guys like amazed by that?
Like, yep. I would have went with it. I would have let her write. So
Like
this
the
is
movie
they
Pleasantville.
canceled work for everybody that day.
Yeah,
Everybody was like,
I would have like made it a thing, and I would have perpetually kept it going every year, so that she'd go tell her friends, so it spread.
yeah.
It would just spread. I mean, but when you get told things like life-changing things like that when you're little, like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
What?
you know, your little mind's like,
Yeah, yeah. But it just goes to show how much the world is just a different place as a result.
Mm-hmm.
Would we be able to have all this crazy shit like we're talking about, where you've got, you know, a man becoming a woman, going in and kicking the shit out of women? Is that possible in a world where there was never internet? Where these ideas can't spread the way they spread now?
no, absolutely not. That's what I was like, with advancement, we've become so much dumber, because before people actually had to know things. You had to go in a book and learn it. Now you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Right.
Which, I mean, cool. Yeah, but people aren't actually, they're not like holding on to that information.
Sure.
It's
Well,
there
not
and
only-
it's gone.
Not only that, now by looking it up, you have to wonder what is real and what is
Yeah,
not real.
yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly.
Because
You
of
look it
goddamn
up.
BlackRock owning everything. Jesus.
Yeah. So
Ruining life. Yeah,
So-
no, but people are just, I feel like people are just, they're just dumber. They're dumber. It's laziness. That's what it is.
convenience.
When I started
Yeah.
teaching, I told you, Mike, that was one of the biggest skills I felt kids not only didn't have, but it was like hard to even get them to learn it, is critical thinking.
Yeah.
They just want to be told what it is.
Yeah. Just
Like,
tell me what it is.
yeah, tell me what it is, or how does it work? Oh, it
There's
just works
no
like
problem
that.
solving skills.
Correct.
Like I do that to my son will be like, Mom, I'm like, figure it out. And if you can't, figure it out until you can, because I'm not helping you.
Yeah.
Like, you're on your own.
Like when I was teaching English language development, like you would have to come up with an assertion, like what's a belief you have. Now pick a piece of information from the text that supports what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that was the part that was always
They can't
missing.
do it.
They could put it all together really well, but when they try to back up their point, it'd be some quote that's not related at all to what
Yeah.
they're saying. There's like no idea. There's like, I don't know. Well, what is it supposed to be? What you're like, you have to decide what
Yeah,
the
you tell
evidence
me.
is.
Even if you're wrong,
This is
tell
your
me
idea.
why.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
why you think this way.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't know what to put after the
They
word
don't know how to
because.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it because
because I just did it
you
because
said to do it. It's the right way. That's what everyone does. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, they freak out. They don't know how to just like,
Yeah.
it makes sense because, and use logic and critical thinking to like figure shit out.
We're doomed.
Yeah.
so now you
We're
grew up,
doomed. It's
you
over.
grew
The
up-
world's
It's over.
you grew up doing martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
MMA and stuff like that too. Have you instilled that in your family and your son?
My son, he was training hardcore for a minute there, and then he wanted to go do all the other boy things. Like, he wanted to do football.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's like showing up like, Mom, I think I made the lacrosse team. I'm like, what do you mean you think you made the lacrosse team? Oh, well, there was tryouts today, and now I have this jersey in this game schedule. I'm like, yeah, you made the team.
team, bro.
Like, great. Now we're
Critical
doing
thinking,
lacrosse. Yeah. Same
No,
with
I'm just kidding.
baseball. I had been like harping on him, like, do a sport, like do something. Comes home. He's like, yeah, so I joined the baseball team. My game's like in 3 hours. I'm like, dude, like, what the hell? Why didn't you tell me you joined? Oh, well, I forgot that I did join, and I've just been going to practice and not telling you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then, yeah, we did football. And so this year.
How old's your son?
He's 14. So he's freshman in high school. Yeah, so this year I was like, I wanted him to do wrestling because I wrestled in high school. So I'm like, do wrestling.
Yeah.
No, it's gay. I don't want to wear a leotard. And I'm like, it's not gay when you could kick somebody's
Yeah,
ass and
when
pin
you're
him on the
manhandling
ground
somebody,
against
yeah.
their will. That's not gay. I mean, it could be if you want it to be
Yeah.
romantic.
I mean, if it's a ditty,
like-
if it's a ditty party, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah. So gave me grief. Like, I'm not joining wrestling. Ugh. And I'm like, oh. So his best friend decides to join wrestling. Now he's doing wrestling this year, and I'm like, whatever.
That's the thing with kids, right?
But
They hear it from a peer. It's
he gets
totally
to the
different.
first practice. He throws up 6 times, gets his ass kicked, and he's like, I'm in love. I love this, Mom. He's like,
He's
this
got the
is
gene
fun.
you got. Yep.
I was like, yeah. I was like, it's fun. He's like, because he hasn't hit his growth spurt yet. Like, he's a little taller than me, but all of his friends for like the past 2 years have been a lot taller than him. And he's like, it's nice being a little person and taking these big guys down. And I always tease him. So like his dad's side of the family, all 6'3" and taller. All of my siblings are almost 6 foot, including my sisters. I'm the shortest one in my family.
Whoa.
I'm the shortest one, but I'm the meanest one. Like you're not calling my 6 foot sister to come back you up. You're calling me.
Yeah.
You know, and so
I believe that.
So I always I've been telling him like all year, I'm like, you better work on your personality. You're gonna be a short man. And he's like, don't say that. Don't
You better
say
be
that.
funny, bro.
Yeah, you better work on that personality. And so now, like, after getting into wrestling, now he's like, it kind of pays off being short. It pays off being little because they don't expect you to hit them so hard. And I'm like, yeah, I love
I bet
it.
that's got to be a story of your life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Constantly underestimated.
Yeah.
People just not realizing what they're getting into.
Yeah, and it's like, don't underestimate me. I have to crawl on my kitchen counter to get glasses. Like I'm used to hurling obstacles, man.
Like, don't laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
Shoelaces, bitch. No.
That's funny. When did you get to your height? You're 6'3"?
Yeah, and so
See, you're 6'3". I thought you were like 5'10". When we walked in, I did not realize you were that tall. I have a body dysmorphia where I think I'm a lot taller than I am.
she was like, "Yeah, we looked eye to eye when you got in."
I felt like I was looking you in the eye. Like I honestly did not realize you were that tall.
Yeah, no. So my growth spurt happened about when your son's age. So like from freshman to sophomore year, I grew like 2 inches.
Yeah.
Like legit within a year. Just like boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
And I was 5'11", and now all of a sudden I'm like 6'1".
Yeah.
And then it happened again from my junior to senior year, another bloop, bloop, 2 inches, just like, and that's when I thought, that's when I thought I was going to go to the NBA. I was going to be a basketball player. I was going to do all these things.
I was going to keep going.
And it's going to keep on going. I was like, I'm going to get bigger. I'm going to get taller. It's like,
He
oh my
can't even
God.
hit a 3-pointer.
And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, found out that I was like, damn, I'm not even tall enough to be a point guard.
Yeah.
I was like, geez.
You're tall for your height. That's what I tell people. I'm tall for my height. I'm tall for my height. No, my son's grown a lot because during my pregnancy, like the last 6 months of it, he had to grow like at least 4 inches because he was shorter than me. And after I had my baby, he's taller than me now, just by like an inch.
It's a crazy age.
An inch, but
Yeah.
but he's always like, I'm taller than you now. And I'm like, fix your chest, boy. I'll hit him in the throat, like, and then he's like this. And I'm like, see, you're still shorter than me. And he's like, that's not fair. You hit me in my throat.
Come down to my level.
Yeah, just a good old karate chop. That solves a lot of
You're raising
problems.
We're going to raise a tough boy there for sure.
He has to be. I mean, his dad is not around. And so it's like, I got to teach you how to be a man. And I'm a girl. So it's going to be a hard lesson.
You're not the average girl, though.
Yeah.
I think he's not at that much of a disadvantage.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. It is funny how they do the height thing, like Jay. Bless his heart, because I don't know. I think he's done growing. He's 18 now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'll grow a little more.
I mean, men grow till they're like 25.
Yeah, he could. He still might get taller, but he always wanted to be taller than me.
Oh,
and so
you're like,
anytime we stand next to each other, he's just always like.
Yeah, they peacock their chest out. You're like, get away. What are you doing? You're still a little
Meanwhile, I'm
boy.
like slunched over.
Well, it's so funny how
terrible
like,
posture.
Jay gets those, like his son gets those realizations. There's one time we were over and Jay's girlfriend was by him and I'm in the kitchen with him and I was like, I was like, hey Jay, what's up, man? I dapped him up and everything. And she was like, she looked at him and she was like, I don't think there's been a time where I've seen somebody bigger than you. And Jay was like, Uncle Mike's not that much bigger.
She wanted to know she's super small too. She was like obsessed with height. She always notices height.
Yeah.
But I remember she wanted us to stand next to her.
Well,
She was
it's
like,
when
I want to know who's taller, Mike or Tony.
Yeah.
When you go around the world looking at everybody's chest, like you're interested about how tall they are.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Like that's the worst. That's the only thing in crowds. I think that's why I walk so big. Like I walk big. Like I do not like, when you're walking down the street and you're like, oh, pardon me. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're just like,
I'm like, pardon you.
No.
Pardon
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. And like, I will say that to people. I catch myself being like, excuse
Pardon
you.
Yeah. No.
Like you're in my way.
When I walk.
Yeah.
When I walk, Like I'm a train track.
Oh,
like,
bro, everybody
you're not,
moves.
You're not gonna get in my way. Like you're gonna like.
Oh,
I'm
I would
walking,
probably
I'm
get in
just
your
like,
way. I would make you move. I had to assert my dominance.
Two immovable objects.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make the podcast today. I'm in the ER.
No, I tend to do that like without even realizing it because I'm like point A to point B. Like I'm getting there. If you're in my way, you need to move out of my way.
Yeah, whenever we're in big crowds, I'm the person.
I'm the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, going through. Follow me. Here we
I wish
go.
I had that.
It's funny because
characteristic.
he's tall and parting the seas. I'm just like little, and that people are like, "Oh, what the hell?
Like, what's coming? What is coming? Everyone's like, the crowd's just partying. What is that?
What is it? What is it?
Oh, hi. Yeah, no, I'm the opposite. I wish I had that characteristic. I'm like the overly.
You're too easygoing.
I'm
I could tell by the way you sit. You're just like there. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You get bumped. You're like, okay.
Tony's like this. Tony,
Yeah,
let me
like,
get,
right
right here,
100%.
right through here. real
And this
quick,
is
excuse me.
even at school with middle school kids, like small little kids. I'm like, oh, excuse me, guys. Oh, yep, let me get past you there. Yeah. It's just my
Not
personality.
me. I've been like
yeah.
taking kids by the head.
Yeah.
And you.
By the head.
Yeah, I'm like that's what I do when I walk. I'm like, excuse me, watch out, big homie. Like, I'm like, watch out, big homie. I'm coming through.
Well, yeah, I'm bad at it at work too. Like I've knocked a customer over before just because I'm like, you're not one of my customers. I don't even give a shit about you. Like, no offense. You're not tipping me. You're not paying me to be nice to you. No. And I'm like, and it's not even me moving. Like I have a low center of gravity. And so people bump into me. I'm not going anywhere, but they're landing on their butt.
Oh my God.
Like, holy shit.
That happened to me at school one time because we always tell kids don't run in the hallway.
Yeah.
And I walked out of a door and this kid was fucking
Caught you.
full sprint, just bounced off me, landed on the floor. I was like, oh
and then
shit.
Then you apologize. You're like, sorry for being in
I
your way.
did.
Yes. Sorry for standing here.
That's something I would do, but I didn't. I was just like, I looked at him. I was like, that's why we don't run in the hallway. It's true though. That's what happens. Somebody comes out and you run into somebody. My job is interesting. I've told Mike about this because I'm like 6'1", 6'2".
You're tall too?
Yeah. Ish. But not at my work. I'm not.
No.
Like,
no, yeah.
it's ridiculous. We have a couple ex-NBA players. Like, everybody there is like stupid tall. Like, I mean, Eric Carrasco, that's the tallest Mexican dude I've ever known in my life, bro. I want to say he's like he's probably 6'9", something like that. They're giant. I feel so small. I hate when we take pictures. Pictures. People are like, "How tall is Tony? Like 5'3"? Like, what?
That's how I feel. Like I have a picture up from like a sparring class, and it's a bunch of heavyweight guys, big guys, and then like I'm in it, and I'm like, how did I get so small?
Yeah.
Like, what did that
Like
happen?
what? Yeah. And then like my younger sister, she's 20. I did her makeup for prom, and I had to stand on a fucking step stool. So in the photos with her, I'm on a step stool, and she's still a solid 4 inches taller than me.
Damn.
And she didn't have her heels on.
You pulled a Vin Diesel. Remember they did when he was with The Rock and they showed like the scenes from the actual whatever when they were filming.
Yeah.
And he's like standing up on a fucking box.
That was me. I had to. I'm like, because I'm so low. It's just like right at her boobs, and I'm like, this
This is awkward.
this is not photogenic. To say this is not great.
Yeah.
Can you not rest your boob on top of my head, please?
Yes, super awkward. It's uncomfortable. Makes me look bad. Hey, Paris, what do you say? You want to hear a little bit of those fun facts?
All right. So every week we do fun facts, and so it's 50 of the funnest facts that I find for that week.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah,
Not
there was
some of them. Sometimes they're grim, dude.
There was the
Sometimes they are grim,
one
yeah.
week for whatever reason they were all dark as hell. He was
I
like,
don't know.
okay, fun facts.
You gotta have the dark to eliminate the light.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's Billy the Kid's birthday today.
Okay.
So there's some fun facts in there about Billy the Kid. And then again, just some random other stuff in there. But Billy the Kid died at the age of 21 from a gunshot wound at Fort Sumner
What
in
a
New Mexico
loser.
territory.
What a loser. I feel like he was old back then.
Yeah, I mean,
That was-
yeah, right. That's middle
that
aged.
was- Yeah, that was middle age.
Yeah. Middle age was
He was
21.
past his prime,
Yeah,
man.
he lost a few steps, obviously. You know, just
It is kind of wild when you think about ancient humans, and they did die hella
But
young.
then there's like all this like Sumerian history where like people were living to like 130.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like really what happened. We're being lied to. Sorry, continue
The
with
way
your
they
fact.
take it.
I really like. We could have a whole nother podcast with her where I feel like we could just go deep on shit.
Yeah,
have a
I
feeling-
got you.
And I'm very
I know
much like
I
that.
know a lot. I'm like 3 a.m. I'm like, what can I read about today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I
Sorry.
don't sleep because I'm looking at
There's
stuff.
just so much to know. Like
Yeah.
if you're a learner, the internet's great. That's why I'm like, if you're a learner, there you can learn so much.
There's so much out there.
All right, here's a goofy one. Wombat poop is cube shaped.
Yeah, I knew that.
Wait, what the hell?
Yeah.
How does that work? Like
They've
a
got
cube?
square buttholes.
Yes, yeah. It's like the Play-Doh.
No, it literally it literally comes out in a cube.
You know, like
Your
when
asshole
you play
have
with.
corners. What the fuck? Doesn't make any sense.
It's hard.
Yeah.
That's
Poor
weird.
guys.
It's weird. Yeah, that must.
Imagine how to push that out.
Right. That's
Like,
gotta
that's not, like-
It's
feel
just like a
good.
block.
Like when you're as a regular ass human with a regular butthole.
Yeah, if you were a Lego man, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I feel like Lego men would definitely have the same shape shit as wombats.
Here you go. Napoleon was once attacked by a horde of bunnies.
That he was a small dude.
He was a
Yeah.
little dude.
Attacked by bunnies.
Sad.
He's a loser too. Yeah. This is a fact. Fun fact about losers, Dave. Give us a good one.
Okay, how about this one? Childhood amnesia. There's people that claim they can recall things from early age, but childhood amnesia is an adult's inability to recover memories before the ages of 2 to 4. You
Oh,
don't
that makes
remember
sense,
anything
though.
from 2 to 4.
That makes sense because your brain shuts itself off during traumatic events, and you think about how
Yeah.
traumatic childbirth actually is. You don't want to be. You don't want to be conscious for that shit. You don't want to be conscious for that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It is weird. I wonder if what is with the survival technique of like trauma blocking out memories? Because I've read that before, and I experienced a lot of trauma growing
It
up.
damages the synapses in your brain.
Oh, so she does read a lot of stuff online.
Yeah, so that's why like domestic violence victims often. I mean, I'm speaking from experience too. Is like you will literally just lose whole like years of time because your brain needs to shut that off so that it can move on and function. So it'll like
See, and that's what I wonder is
Yeah.
because I had same for me. Like there's parts of my childhood for sure I don't remember shit at all.
Yeah, it's like, and that's why a lot of people who have been like molested as children don't recall it, and something in their adulthood will like
Triggers
smack it
it,
on,
yeah.
and you're like,
You're like,
and
oh my
they start
God.
freaking out, and then they remember, and they're like, holy shit, like how come I didn't remember any of this?
Yeah,
Yeah, because your brain, it's a survival
it's
mechanism.
like a protective thing.
Yeah. It's like I think it's like that primal instinct, you know, like that those primal, like those little primal bits of you are like, I need to not know this
Fight or
to
flight.
survive.
Fight or flight.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Yep. This one right here. Pineapples. They were so expensive in the 1700s that people would rent them at parties
Yep.
just as a status symbol.
Yeah, they wouldn't even eat them.
Yeah. It's like,
They just
"Oh, my
set 'em on a
fucking
table."
pineapple, bro.
Yeah, because they were so hard to get. It
Yeah.
was like they had to import them.
So wow, we can get anything we want now from anywhere.
I'll just Amazon that.
Amazon. I ordered a coffee cup yesterday. Got it the same day. You're like,
A coffee cup?
yeah.
What was special about it that you needed it the next day?
I didn't. No, I didn't need it
Oh,
the next
okay.
day.
I was like,
I need a coffee
"Ooh,
cup.
I need this
I placed an
tomorrow."
order.
It was
solved.
Tony's all of his.
I clearly
all
have
of
a-
his.
I have an issue.
All of his
No,
was
it's not the
dirty.
same way.
All of Tony's was dirty, so we needed a clean one. That's why.
Shut up, Pierce.
He's just jealous. All he has is this energy drink
Right, water
full
over
of
here.
chemicals.
Water over here. These are gonna
Drink
help
your
me. These are gonna help preserve my body, by the way, to be 392 years old. Just
Really?
So you know. Yeah.
Just so you know, we're not embalming you when you die.
that
is
it's
too much
naturally
work.
embalmed.
Toilet paper's too expensive.
When you snap your fingers, the sound is created by your middle finger hitting the palm of your hand, not by the friction of the two
I
fingers.
feel like that's a lie
I feel like that's a lie
because
too.
my fingers don't touch the palm of my hand.
mine hit the palm.
Mine hit right here.
Listen to the difference in sound, though.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's no difference.
What? What? Mine's.
That's what I'm like.
But I'm still hitting this finger. It actually hits that finger with a good amount of force.
Yeah. Well, did you ever get flicked in the head as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Dude, uncles,
Oh yeah.
If anybody's had an uncle, yes.
Yeah.
My god grandpa, his name was Fred. So they're this Hispanic couple, Flora and Fred. But we would have flick wars. They'd thunk me,
yeah.
just being little, like. So I just remember being like 2, 3 years
look at
old
it.
trying to like get
She
him
even
back.
flicks good. She probably fuck us up just flicking
Oh,
us.
I've gotten my son a couple times. Like I just messing around, like whacked him in the head, and then he has the imprint of my nail. And I'm like,
Oh,
sorry, buddy.
he's all.
We might get some emails on
About
this.
what?
Sorry.
Sorry, about what?
Yeah, they're like, is your kid safe? Blink twice, Onyx. No, he's good. He's good.
His name's Onyx.
Yeah.
That is a cool ass name.
Yeah. His name's Onyx. My daughter's name is Capri. Yeah. They couldn't have boring names. My name's Lavida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't name my
Where
daughter.
does your
like,
name come from? How I've never heard that either.
Yeah, so I'm adopted, and I so Lavida means the life in Spanish, and I became my parents' life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I got that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
Everyone always says it with Callie too. They jack my daughter's name up all the time.
What do they say? What do
Her
they call
her full name is Calliope.
Oh, I love that.
And so when they read it,
Yeah.
it's all Calliope.
They call
Calliope.
calamari.
And you're like, oh my
Is that
god, dude. You're like, it's Calliope.
Calliope.
It's Calliope.
Oh, I used to get pissed when I was little. They'd call me the wrong name, and I'd be so angry. I'm like, call me the right name. Like, that's not my name. And I wouldn't answer. Teachers would call, like, mispronounce it. And I'm like, sitting there. Like, I'm not going to.
What kind of pronunciations would you get?
They would add an R in there. Lavitra. Like,
Isn't that a
Lavida.
Lavidia.
Yeah. Yeah. Like libido, like all sorts of shit. And I'm like, where are you getting these letters from? Like, it's phonetic. Just sound it out.
You're a teacher.
Sound it out, man.
My youngest is going by her middle name now.
Yeah.
She's committed to that. Yeah.
Why?
Macaria. Huh?
Why? She doesn't like her first name?
She doesn't. Her first name's Jessie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, well, we look
He's
back,
like, I know.
you don't know, because when we were naming all three of our kids, we were young and dumb and thought it would be cool if they all had the same initials. So they're all JMD. So I've got Jaden, Jillian, and Jessie.
Okay, yeah.
But Jessie decided she just doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Started going by Macaria, which is actually
Macaria
much
is
better.
awesome.
That's her grandmother's name.
Yeah.
Her great grandmother's name, actually.
She's like,
So.
I don't need this basic name.
I like it because she lets me call her Mac.
Mac, okay.
Yeah,
that's
so-
cool. Yeah.
All right.
Names mean a lot. There's
They
a lot
do.
of power behind names.
Mm-hmm.
This one right
Agreed.
here. Your skin makes up about 15% of your total body weight.
15%. That's
Yeah.
way higher than I would have guessed.
Really?
15%. What's the heaviest is muscle? Bones?
That's why I weigh so much. I've got thick skin.
That's
good.
That's it.
That's it. I'm not fat. I just have thick
Thick
skin.
Just have thick
Nothing's
skin.
getting past this. In ancient Egypt, this is
Oh,
sick.
I love Egypt.
In ancient Egypt, servants were smeared with honey to attract flies away from the pharaoh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's power.
Can
right
you
there.
imagine just having somebody standing
Everybody's
behind
lathered
you
up in
just like-
honey just to make your
standing
life
behind
And
easier?
you're just like, you're just standing there. You're like,
Just
fuck my
landing on
life.
you all over the place. They're probably getting stuck in the honey. You got fucking flies stuck to you.
I don't.
Yeah, they would
I
stick
don't
to
like
you.
sticky hands, bro.
Oh, I
You-
can't
your whole
stand it.
body being sick. Or that right there, I would drive me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's sometimes like you buy the wrong deal.
You'd be perfect for a fly catcher though, because you've got a lot of body space.
No,
so
no.
they'd be like, we just need one of you
We
today.
just need one of them. We just need the big one.
Bring Pierce.
Bring
Get
the
that
big one. I'm like, no, I don't like that. My armpits are sticky. I don't like it.
But that is a real power move, though.
Yeah.
Like, just make people covered in
I
honey
love
so that.
that.
so that you don't have to deal with flies.
Right?
Fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a simple annoyance as a fly. You don't. Fuck this.
They're just
Fuck
humans.
this.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, get over here. Lather him up.
Before they thought to put it on strips of cloth.
Right?
Or fucking anything else besides a
A
person.
person that'll walk around
You
with
could put
you.
it all over one wall, and
Well,
they would just
it
stay
makes
right
sense
there.
because insects are like attracted to your pheromones,
Yeah.
so it makes more sense. I mean,
That's
I guess so,
hilarious, though.
yeah.
yeah, because I mean, those fly strips do have like pheromones and all sorts of other shit on
Weird
it.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's better.
You know, I read recently. I was like,
She's like, I'm going to implement it
Yeah,
immediately
I
at
like
work.
this idea.
one of the funniest things I read this week on Instagram was, "Do not touch" has to be the scariest thing to read in Braille.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, oh shit! Like,
Too
what did
late. Too late.
What did
too
I
late.
do?
You're dead.
It'd be like if it was written and said, "Don't."
Or
look
then
at this,
another one
you know?
I was reading was like, imagine you were a food tester back in the medieval times for a king, you know,
Yeah.
for royalty, and then turns out you just had allergies to particular food, and the chefs were killed
Yeah,
based on that.
Oh yeah, you've said that before. That's your own wild thought, huh?
Yeah.
You came up with
he
that.
thinks about that a lot, often.
I know he's mentioned it
It's
before.
fucked up. It's fucked up. Just like
Those poor
now we're
chefs.
just pine nuts, okay?
Yeah, but people didn't have. But people also didn't have as many allergies back
that's
then.
true. That is
Yeah.
true. We've
Because a lot of the
developed those
allergies
as- yep.
now is because of all the shit they put in vaccines.
chemicals. Well, not
And
chemicals
chemicals
and
and-
just like
Chemicals,
preserving
vaccines,
things.
foods, plastics,
Because
preserving
you're
like
putting a
all
bunch
the
of shit in
shit.
your body that, I mean, even our clothes, all of us are wearing clothes we shouldn't be wearing technically.
Well, you know the one I think about is like cologne and perfumes
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that we all wear. That shit can't be good for you.
I mean, it's made. Most of it's made from whale puke.
Wait,
Smear it
wha-
on.
What?
Yeah. So like the
Yeah, I'm like,
When a whale, so when a whale throws
Can we
up,
fact check him?
Yeah, you can. It's like
he's undefeated, by the way. He's had we've had guests that have him fact check live in the moment many times, and it's never been wrong, which is really irritating.
So it's actually expensive too.
I
whale
hope so.
vomit.
You got to kill a whale.
So here we go.
Or how do you make a whale puke? You
I know.
Let's get the little ones. Puke, you motherfucker.
Just do it. Punch him in the stomach. Putting your finger down a throat.
You have to use an arm. A broomstick.
What kind of whales are we talking about, guys? These are like dog-sized whales.
Listen,
beluga whales.
Baby whales.
Yeah, beluga whales.
Baby whale vomit.
It's more expensive
So it's
than
called
adult
ambergris. That's what
How's this
whale
spelled?
vomit
This was a fun fact in the past.
AMBERGRIS. Yes, and it's worth thousands of dollars.
Well, we
per
have to
ounce.
get on a new business venture. You're
We need to
gonna
move
quit
to the
middle
coast.
school.
Yeah, we need to
forget
move to
math.
a coast. We're landlocked here. We're not finding any. We're not
raise
finding
them.
any trout.
Farm raised
some
whales.
Some trout puke.
Ew. No.
But no, it's so a gram of the ambergris is just $27.
So now we know why the Japanese are killing them all. This is high profit.
Yeah. So and most high end perfumes have ambergris in it in colognes. So yeah,
Well,
That seems weird
we're
as
just
hell.
dousing ourselves with
With-
fucking whale vomit.
and eating beaver anal sac. It's fine.
What's
It's
that?
natural.
Wait, what is
and
that?
parasitic bugs for the colors.
Oh, I know.
the
Jesus
dyes.
Christ.
Yeah, remember that was another one of the fun
Yeah,
facts.
the shellac.
They crush them and it makes
my
a
God.
red dye.
yeah.
Goddamn.
We do some weird ass shit, man.
Again, but we were talking about this last week on the podcast. Like, who was the first person to be like, eating the puffer fish, right? You're like, I can eat this.
The fish, the puffer fish thing I get because like you're out on the sea. If you're not catching shit, you're going to eat what you catch. You got to figure it out.
But then like someone's like, oh shit,
This is
Frank.
poisonous.
Yeah, how many
Frank is
people?
dead.
How many people tried it first? Yeah, right.
Well,
That's
that's kind of like that thing that goes back to like that primal thing. Like, there's certain things as a human, like this thing is dangerous. Like, I don't know why you're dangerous, but I know I'm not supposed to be fucking with you.
Well, the only things you're born with as an innate fear is the fear of sound and the fear of heights.
Is it the fear of sound?
Yeah, fear of sound and fear of heights. Those are the only things you're
Fear
born
of heights?
with. Yeah.
Are you sure you're
Or fear of
born?
falling. Sorry,
I was like,
fear of falling.
you're not.
Yeah, the fear of
you're not born.
falling.
Yeah.
Sorry, the fear of falling and fear of sound. So
Okay.
the other things are developed through.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me because I would have always thought like spiders would be one. In general, when people see spiders, almost everybody kind of moves away. It's like an instinctive, like, oh shit.
I mean,
versus a regular bug, you don't trip out as much.
But I don't know, like, so if you go to other countries and stuff, like they're not scared of bugs.
Yeah.
It's us here.
It's just, yeah.
Well,
it's
because
like
they're fucking everywhere in other countries.
It's like
no?
Oh,
yeah, they're not scared of them. They're just kind of like, whatever.
There's no exterminators.
Yeah, they just live with them. Like, I feel like in America, we kill things.
I
to
read
make
a
our
book
lives easier.
Yeah.
years ago that talked about that. It was about how we've just in modern times really gotten away from it, but we used to just incorporate nature so much. Like one of the things was it was really good to have spiders in your
Yeah, in
doorways.
your gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your
Yeah.
doorways because it just stops a bunch of annoying bugs from coming in.
You don't
and-
have to cover people with honey to catch your flies. That's what's really going
You
on.
don't need human fly traps. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
weird.
You can get away from that. People can go take a shower. That'd be hard to get off in the shower, I bet. Honey?
No, honey's so good. If you ever like feeling real old, just put some on your skin and let it sit.
I feel
for,
real
like,
old all the
Isn't it
time.
supposed to tighten it up, right?
Well, it doesn't tighten up, but it's like antimicrobial. It
Yeah,
does
it
all
is.
such a good.
Yeah.
Takes
And it
out the
doesn't
impurities
expire.
in your
Yeah.
skin. It's
Really?
good for you. Yeah, so good for you.
Any kind of like just honey you get from the
Like
store?
just get some good honey.
Yeah,
Don't
like
get
good
the
like Colorado.
Yeah.
Maybe not some- not some
always,
clover
you, should
dog. Yeah.
you should always try to eat honey that's local because
do-
it's going to have local pollen, and it helps like your immune system better.
Yep.
Absolutely. It has done wonders for my allergies.
Yeah,
Been doing that, yeah. He has been eating the local.
Yep.
Good.
I try to get like a teaspoon at least a day.
it's good in coffee. Throw it.
It is good in coffee.
Yeah,
I
throw
do
it
put it
some
in my
coffee
coffee
with a little
sometimes.
hazelnut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a sweet coffee person, but I do like it with a little honey. Like
Yeah,
that.
just a smidge. I'm not
Just-
a huge sweet
yeah.
person either. Just a smidge and a dash of hazelnut and cinnamon. And you got
Like
a little
those
health
fucking
drink.
Dunkin' Donut coffees.
Yeah,
Put you
all
in the
the
hospital.
yeah, isn't that crazy? Because when they get those syrups, there's like little warnings on the box, and it's like, do not touch this with the bare skin. Use gloves.
Have you ever seen like the videos that show how they make those Dunkin' Donut drinks?
Mm.
Like they start, it's like this much
Syrup.
sugar.
Sure.
Then they start dumping
Yeah.
the syrup on top of it.
And then their coffee's like a
drip.
concentrate.
Yeah. Ugh.
Get out of here.
Come
It's
on,
like
guys.
when I used to bounce and I used to get my free drinks at the end of the night. And I used to get Long Island's, and it'd be
Yeah,
like,
you look like a Long Island drinker. Let's just start there.
I was trying to get the most bang for my free drink buck. Okay, and a Long Island is the best way to go.
He's all drinking the bar rail water.
I love how neither one of us are going to
bar
say
mop.
we're not going to
The
say
bar
a
mop.
word back to her. Yeah, that's a good one.
You're
Yeah,
right,
I'm an idiot. That's true.
That's
No, it's fine. I drank those when I was 16 too. You're good. No, I
Roasted,
tell your
Pierce.
story now.
tell your story. Tell your story. We want to hear it. It's fine. This is a safe space.
Because they would.
Your feelings matter here.
Yeah.
Will would pour my drinks, and he'd be like talking to me. He's like, "So it was a good night, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah. Oh, and he'd be like, Coke.
Yeah,
Like,
this is spritz.
like,
Spritz.
oh man, you're like, okay, one drink tonight. That's it for me.
Yeah.
When I'm making mimosas for people, I always I don't put that much orange juice, like, and they're like, it's like almost like it's like a splat, like, ugh. And then they're like, that's not enough orange juice. I'm like, are you an adult or not? Like, do you want this drink or not? This is how you should be drinking.
I keep picturing that
It's
weird,
too much.
that Instagram.
Do you want?
Real
Yeah.
or whatever.
If you wanted an orange juice, I would have poured you an orange juice.
Yeah.
Drink a kombucha, bitch.
I love kombucha.
I do too.
Yeah. I drink a lot of kombucha.
But I just hate when people like order alcoholic drinks and they're like, I don't want to taste alcohol. Like, you don't like alcohol. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't drink
Yeah.
it.
Why
Yeah,
you
yeah,
drink it?
It's
Yeah.
a weird thing. Just don't drink it. You don't like it. People, I love wine, and people come to my restaurant all the time and they're like, oh, I don't like this wine is this. I'm like, you don't like wine. Well, I need it to be sweet. Drink some grape juice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't like wine. It's fine. You don't have to drink alcohol
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they
Fine.
like that plum wine. You ever had that super sweet plum wine?
Like the Asian plum
Yeah,
wine.
it's
Yeah.
crazy sweet. It's
Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
I think Dunkin' Donuts makes it. It's like all sugar.
Damn, Asia's infiltrating everything. China owns us.
Yeah. I haven't drank since when I stopped drinking. 2015?
Yeah.
Fuck. It's like you
Yeah.
said, it seems like not
10
that
years.
long ago, but
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
almost 10 years ago.
I laid off a couple years back too. It's just like, I don't like how I feel after using it as an excuse to be an asshole. I could just be an asshole by myself. I don't need a drink to do it.
I don't need to enhance my personality.
Yeah.
My personality is already enhanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just getting too attached to it. I was starting to really enjoy it. And it runs in my
Okay.
family. Alcoholism.
Okay.
Runs in my
Yeah,
family,
mine
so-
was not even that. It was more like my life is going to shit and I'm going to drink and then I'm going to lash out and use it as an excuse to like lash out. And so I just stopped. I was like, this is not
This
actually,
isn't helping me.
Yeah, this is not how I'm actually wanting to be. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know. And then even being pregnant, everybody's like, I bet you can't wait to drink. And it's like, no, actually, I just
What?
can't wait
Yeah.
to lay on my stomach.
Yeah, right. There are other things.
Yeah, like not wear giant clothes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like especially in the area I'm in, it's like a bunch of like lush moms and they just drinking wine.
in their Stanleys.
Yeah,
And their pink
then
Stanleys.
it's like they're like, oh, and I have my triple Tito's vodka soda in my Stanley, and I want a glass of wine. It's like, bitch, your kids are here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's fine. He can drive. He can drive.
Yeah. No, it's funny how widely consumed alcohol is. People love the
I was
shit out of
having
liquor.
a conversation with a friend and I was like, do you drink? And he was like, no. He's like, it's just one of those things. Like, you don't introduce, people think it's so weird, but you don't introduce yourself as saying like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I
don't.
do heroin or I don't do heroin. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same with alcohol.
that's true,
right? Yeah.
It's just like one of those poisons that's been so welcomed.
It's because I don't drink. It's always weird. It's always when especially if people don't know it, right? People have known me longer. Know
They know, yeah.
Yeah, but people who don't, and you're together,
like,
and it's
really?
like, and they
Really?
immediately assume like there's some issue.
Like there's something.
Yeah.
oh, how many
Like
years
you-
sober? And like I'm not
Did
counting.
you used to beat your wife?
Yeah.
Did you used to beat your wife?
right. It saved my
And you're
life.
like, no, I just don't like feeling like shit
No,
the
I
next
just-
day.
yeah, I
I
just
have a
stopped.
license.
Yeah.
How long were you in for?
Yeah.
Hey, some of us were in and we didn't.
Didn't drink.
It wasn't for alcohol.
Is that true? Is that you?
I did. I went to prison. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! How are we waiting until there's 2 minutes left in the show to find this out?
The cliffhanger.
Yeah, you have to
continued.
come back and talk about your prison experience.
There we go.
Do you mind if I ask, like, what
Oh
happened?
no, not at all. I was in an abusive ass marriage. I defended myself.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, I defended myself, and
He
his
found out.
his injuries were worse than mine.
He found out.
Yeah.
Did he get in trouble too?
Not a smidge. He ended up telling on a bunch of people. He snitched on a bunch of people who were doing gang-related activities.
Oh.
And so he didn't even get a slap on the hand. Yeah. If I ever get the chance for a rematch, it's on. I'm just kidding.
So
I
that's
won
crazy.
the first time. I won the first time.
Was he the aggressor first?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
you went to jail.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of shit that terrifies me.
Well, apparently in Colorado, if somebody says they're going to go and get a gun to kill you, you should let them just go and get a gun to kill you instead of beating their ass.
What a way to end the podcast. You have to come back. I want to talk a little bit more about that. That's absolutely insane. Kind of pisses me off just on the surface hearing it. But great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for
We have a lot
having me.
more to talk about. You can come back as many times. It's just a hang every time. That's what we do.
And it wasn't so bad, right?
No, it was
First
not. It was fun. It was fun. That's fun.
Hell yeah. Look at that. Here's another episode in the bag. Who do we got next week?
We got a few people. We got Tony Two-Tone coming back, and then we got a Grammy Award winner, Eric Benny Bloom, in a few weeks. So
Let's go.
excited. But
Good
with
shit.
that dollar, it is a wrap. Cheers.
Cheers.